but I think the big money is in Wolfgang. I think it's pretty clear. Like, if they can execute right, and if they can keep building, and if they can do this, the thing is, like,
this NFT trader went from 4 ETH to 900 ETH just this year. And me and him are going to be rating NFT projects. We're talking Azuki, Valhalla, Wolfgang, Pudgy Penguins, everything. Here are our thoughts on the best projects, and make sure to comment and like below. But let's get in that video today with EB7, the founder of the OTC Network. Let's go. All right, I'm with EB7, the king, the GOAT, the Lionel Messi of NFT. Who knows? We'll talk about that later, but we're going to be ranking or rating some 2022 NFT projects. So Eric, let's start off with Bored Ape Yacht Club. How do you assess their 2022? Obviously, big news about a CEO from Blizzard just got hired. Thoughts on Bored Ape Yacht Club December 2022 right now?
Everyone knows I'm an ape fan. I'm pretty big. I've been repping the shirt right now. It was a coincidence. I didn't know that I was gonna talk about them, but the CEO thing, I've never been like truly like that big of like, oh my god, we got a CEO, because I don't think it really depends on that. The same thing when Doodles got their CEO, I was just like, cool, like, you know, it's not really gonna change much. Culture is culture, and I think projects don't live and die by their CEOs, especially in something like this. But it is cool to see someone, you know, with so much experience. I did have to check when they started at Blizzard, because coming from gaming, Blizzard had a very rough patch at some points, and I wanted to make sure that he wasn't the head of it then, and he wasn't. But I mean, it's never bad news, but I don't think it's like life-changing either.
What are your thoughts on Valhalla?
If you like it at 1, sell at 1, because you'll like it even more at 0 when you can pick it up for free.
Credit to them. They actually decided, hey, let's take some of all the ETH we raised and let's start paying some influencers to do threads and tweets about it. At least they try to do that.
Before we go to 0, let's get some more royalties up in here.
You have a gaming background. For people who don't know, Eric, former gaming world champion. This is a gaming NFT. How do you view it as a gaming NFT platform project?
Here's the issue that I have with it, like, primarily. For people that don't know, like, I had my first pro contract when I was 13 years old in Call of Duty in 2008, right? Like, I was very young since I started gaming. I've lived through all of it. I won world championships. I then streamed. I had an exclusivity contract with Twitch. Like, I've been through all of it. I've managed in Team Liquid. They sold this product that just doesn't exist. I'm sorry, but like, this whole we're gonna become a streaming platform where like streamers own the platform, and like no one cares. I'm sorry, but no one cares, because the reason you stream on Twitch and you get these exclusivity contracts is because you get paid big. I don't want to own a piece of something that's worth nothing. I want to go on and I want to stream to as many people as possible, because there's two sides of it, right? There's the money side and there's the viewership side. Every streamer wants to be able to look at their chat and see 5,000, 6,000, 10,000 people in there. You want to have that growth. It's part of the fun. You're not going to get that in a streaming platform like this. Like, it's just not going to happen. And I don't think anyone that's truly like, this is a future, understands how much money is getting paid out on Twitch. It's not like we're making $1,000 a month or $5,000 a month. There's bounties and exclusivity stuff that you make 5,000-6,000 for a 1-hour activation, a 10-minute video, like all these things. Like, it is ridiculous. No one is going to switch off of that.
That's such a great point. Even Ninja, like, didn't he go on like Mixer or something? He couldn't even onboard enough people there. So that's tough.
Mixer was owned by Microsoft and they failed. Facebook cannot get off the ground. YouTube has spent tens of millions of dollars on just 5 or 6 creators, and they still can't get the market share away from Twitch. This is not gonna work. I'm sorry. Like, I wanted to, and I want you guys to all win, but like, it's a bunch of non-gamers talking about how gaming is the future, and it's kind of like, I'm watching it from afar and I'm like, bruh.
Failing grade for Valhalla for 2022. What about Chimpers?
I love Chimpers, but I have a sweet spot. You know, like, my heart is Chimpers at heart. If I could flip Chimpers all day and never touch anything else, I would. I don't think it's a flipping type of project. That's the thing, which is why you don't see me like actively buying Chimpers all the time. But I absolutely love Chimpers. I think the founders are incredible. Like, if I tweeted the other day, I'm like, I feel like you guys don't sleep. Like, I am already the person that usually doesn't sleep. Like, you guys genuinely like are always awake. They're always talking with the community. They're always getting feedback. They're always like on top of everything. If you want founders that like above communication, because I think there's communication and then there's founders that truly are part of their own community. These guys like live and breathe the same thing as everyone else in that community. And on top of that, the stuff they build is cool, man. Like, I remember my first experience in the dojo, the fighting. They have some partnerships also working. Like, it's not just the community, they're actually building.
We saw something rare happen recently. You bought into a new project, Pudgy Penguins. Thoughts on their 2022?
You know how it was like Doodles, and then it was like Cool Cats, and then it was like Pudgies. So like by the end of next year, it's just gonna be Pudgies, and then like that's it. Like they're taking over the cute thing. I think Luca is the real deal. I think there's like he's like if Frank wasn't a Walmart salesman, okay? If Frank did not care to always be in the guy handing out the stickers at the front of Walmart, like, hey, have a great day, hey, have a great day, everybody, I'm Frank. You know, like if he was just heads down working without all the BS, that's what Luca is. And he is great. And he is great when it comes to people as well, not only ideas and experience. So I think Pudgies is the real deal. And also, the more I look at them and the more I go through their trades, it really works, man. Like, these things are great. Like, artistically, trade divisions, everything, it just really works.
Saw them have some auctions at Sotheby's. That's always cool.
Yeah.
Now everyone knows you from your huge ape flips. The one thing you haven't really pulled the trigger on that's been often speculated is you not getting a Spirit Azuki. Thoughts on Azuki as a project from 2022?
Okay, Azuki's like my big hit. Like I always said it, I don't doubt it. I was in Azuki pre-reveal, I was in Azuki all the way up to beans. Like, I had at the point of beans over, like, I've had traded over 35 different Azukis, right? Like, I was in it. Then everything happened, so I kind of took a step back, and now that I'm trying to get back in, it's like everyone knows, like, oh, this guy just sold the ape, I'm not selling cheap to him. And two, the people that hold these things have no reason to sell. When you look at the wallets, it's like, oh, he has 7 spirits, oh, he has 20 spirits, oh, this guy has like 17,000 different NFTs, all worth like like millions of dollars. So Dingling owns a bunch, and like they just don't sell. And then the people that do sell, they only have 1 or 2, so they're trying to cash out. Like, if I'm gonna sell my only spirit, I'm going to cash out. I'm not gonna sell for cheap. And then it comes into play where I'm like, yes, I believe in Azuki, but at what point is 1 Azuki 2 apes? Like, that is very hard to like swallow that bill. Like, damn, I'm gonna spend 120 on this spirit when ape floor is 6. And that's why I'm always like, I go and I negotiate, and I spend like a week negotiating. I'm like, this is the moment, and then they don't budge, and I'm just like, you know what, I'm going back to apes.
One thing I did not expect for 2022 was that Azuki would be ending on such a high note, while Clone X would be one of the more fudded projects. Thoughts on Clone X December 2022?
Yeah, okay. So for Azuki, like, the high end is the fact that they're doing stuff that's cool, man. Like, is it utility and all this thing to buy a 300 ETH skateboard that's made out of gold? No, probably not, and none of us can afford it. But like, it's still cool, and their clothing is still cool, and their community is incredible and everything. So like, that works to them. And above everything, when they drop something, it works. It's flawless. The experience is well done. They don't just go and drop something, which is part of the reason Clone X is absolutely terrible. Every time they do a drop, every time the best part about Clone X is when they don't do anything. Just give us a box and just like, shut up, man. Like, please don't say anything for a little bit, and just let us, speculate and let prices go up. But every time it's time to execute, they mess up. Whether it's the hoodies, the boxes, the US only shipping, like, everything is a problem. And every time they do something, it's been an issue. And this comes from before Clone X was Clone X. You had the insider info stuff on with the vials. You had like all these problems that, I'm sorry to say, but they're trying to pull the Doodles here. I apologize, but nothing ever changes. It's the same thing, and people starting to catch on. I mean, like, Doodles have announced whatever, all this stuff, but price doesn't move, right? Clone X is down the same path because no one believes anything anymore. You have your chances, but like, it comes to a point where like, you actually have to execute, and that's what Yuga does, and that's what Azuki has done. Every time they're ready to move, the move is flawless.
One of my favorite things to do is fire up Eric. Let's do that right now. Let's talk about Doodles. 2022, we've heard some news that we might be getting finally a word on what the utility could be about duplicators, Doodles 2. We've heard some January announcements. Thoughts on Doodles December 2022 right now?
They said in one of like, what we haven't widely shared is that we found a home and we've been building Doodles 2. Like, yeah, bro, that's what you announced a year ago. Like I don't understand like how this is big news. Like, you found what chain you want. Like, I'd expect that before you make us pay for the boxes and you drop the duplicators. Like, I don't understand like what world we're living in here where Doodles is making an announcement like 6 or 7 months after they dropped the thing that like, guys, huge news, like Doodles 2 is happening. Like, yeah, bro, like that's why we all bought in like 6 months ago, man. I'm shocked that was even part of the announcement. And then they spent the whole first part, or as the NFT lead for Doodles, I want to apologize for lack of communications. If I go into the Doodles Discord and I type in @poopy or @tulip and then the word communication on the search bar, I can find every single time they announce anything, it's that same phrase: we're sorry for the lack of communication, we will be better. Man, just hire someone to literally speak. Like, it is absurd that you don't even have to pay them that much, man. Like, get an intern. There's people that will intern as the social media person for Doodles because it's good on their resume. Like, what is the issue here? Not only that, but I'm pretty sure as of last night, yeah, it's still like that. You make this announcement on Discord. No one, if you don't have Discord, you don't know what's going on with Doodles. Go to their Twitter. There is not a peep there. This announcement did not make it to Twitter, man. Like, do they not understand that not everyone is on Discord all day, every day? This has been an issue for them always. They always make these like Discord messages. Like, man, either you cater to everyone or you just don't say anything, because like, to me as a holder.
Can these things be mutually exclusive though? Can we think that they have a shitty communication process, but they might actually be building something cool? What do you think about?
No, I have zero faith in them. There was a part where they say that like all their drops are like perfection. Like they put it off because, here we go. Historically, we've worked hard to hit all our promised NFT product timelines and pull off flawless release. Man, Space Doodles was delayed 9 hours. I was sitting on a space, and I know it was 9 hours because we were buying time for Space Doodles to come out there. When the duplicator claim came out, 50% of people couldn't even access a website. What is this flawless execution they're speaking of? I'm so confused that, like, this is why I don't believe in them. Because at least Clone X admits their mistakes. Doodles just like, it's like delusion world. And honestly, I know you, I love your popsicle, man. And I think it's a great, like, though I'll never fud the art. The art is fantastic. Our Doodle art is fantastic. But I mean,
wait, one thing for people who don't know, go follow OTC Network on Twitter. We'll link it right here. One thing I was surprised to see though, part of your OTC network is that you've been facilitating some doodle trades. Do you still think there is somewhat of a market there? It's not
dead, and it'll never be dead, right? Like, in my opinion, like, doodles will always have a place because of the art. I think the art is absolutely carrying the whole project. Like, that's the thing. And like, people, and I'm telling you, if you just took out the founders and you took out the names and you took out everything and you show me a Pudgy, a Doodle, a Cool Cat and anything, I would want to doodle 10 out of 10 times, just art-wise, look-wise, vibe-wise, everything. But at the end of the day, that's not enough.
Okay, I'm gonna hit you with 3 NFT projects. Talk about the one that you're most bullish on. Wolf Game, MFers, Sappy Seals.
Okay, definitely not MFers. Sorry guys. I'm sorry, but like, to me, MFers is a movie, man. Like, the way Sartoshi or whatever his name is just was like, guys, one more drop, and then just dropped like an open edition. It was like, peace, bro, thanks for retirement. Was like the greatest thing of NFTs I've ever seen. It was right at the end of the bull run too. Like, dude cashed out hard. Without that, I would have more respect for, you know, MFers as a whole, like the whole picture of community and this and that. But like, that was just too funny to like ever let go. Sappy Seals, I actually like I'm not gonna put my money in it, but I actually like that. I feel like, you know, they kind of like, they roll with their own vibe. They don't really care about what's going on in this space. Like, you get Sappy Seals replies in bull market and in bear market, and they're the same thing. Like, the guys are just vibing. They have a great community, like, for everyone. You know, I've seen older people, younger people, men, women, everything. So I think the seals will do fine. I don't think they'll ever fade out. I don't love it. I don't think there's anything great about it, right? But I think the big money is in Wolf Game. I think it's pretty clear. Like, if they can execute right, and if they could keep building, and if they could do this, the thing is, like, I don't see big wallets and big money ever going back into MF, ever going back into Sappy Seals, right? Like, there's just nothing there for me to say, like, I'm going to throw in 50, 60, 100 ETH into it. But, like, you see Wolf Game, man, they got the interest of the right people. And that's what you need. If you have the right people interested and then you can execute, even to the lowest level, you'll be able to keep that running. So that's why I think like out of the three, if I was putting my money anywhere, it's Wolf Game.
Yeah, Wolf Game, we've seen, I think Snowfro placed a 75 ETH bid. I've seen people like G Money and Jimmy.eth talking. It's still in the conversation with the right types of people.
And a lot of people in apes and everything, they're like, yo, I'll trade you this if you have a mutant or whatever. Like, I want this. And I was like, I'm not in Wolf Game, but like the moment I was most jealous of, I rarely am like, damn, I wish I did that trade, was what you just said with Snowfro, man. He offered 2 unminted squiggles plus 75 ETH. I didn't care about the 75 ETH. I wanted the 2 unminted squiggles. Like that is one of like my dreams, to be able to go in and like mint your own squiggle this late in the game. Probably is like one of the coolest experiences ever. And I remember I reached out to a friend in Wolf Game. I'm like, bro, can you get me in touch with someone that owns that? Like one of those, I'll pay 100 ETH liquid, and then I'll go and flip it for 75 and 2 unminted, just because I wanted the experience.
And that's the video, guys. Those are the projects we're looking at right now. The best of 2022, and some projects we just wanted to make fun of. Definitely go follow Eric, aka EB7, on Twitter, and make sure, guys, to listen to this motherfucker. And have a great Christmas, holiday, whatever you celebrate. Have fun, relax, and just remember to say gang gang.